Drain these in a colander for about 15 minutes. We don't want to undo all the wonderful work we did toasting our bread. Hello everyone, my name is Jessica Penner, registered dietitian with the Manitoba Crop Alliance. I am so excited to be in the Great Taste of Manitoba kitchen today, and we are going to be doing something that might be a little strange for some of you. We're putting bread in salad. Although if you think about it, croutons are made out of bread, so maybe it's not so strange after all. This is a broccoli panzanella recipe, which is an Italian-inspired recipe. Pop quiz! Which Canadian crops are in high demand all around the world? While I'm sure there are other highly prized crops, today we're highlighting barley and wheat. Due to our climate and the millions of dollars that goes into research and development for these foods, countries around the world clamor to buy the high-protein, high-quality crops that Canadian farmers are able to grow. Lucky for us, Canadians get to enjoy this wheat and barley every day. No premium price tag attached. Okay, let's go ahead and make these croutons, but let's make them giant. So we're going to start off by slicing a loaf of bread. One thing that's wonderful about this recipe is that it uses day-old bread. Great for reducing food waste and food costs. So when you are perusing that day-old bread, make sure that you look for one that is maybe a little heartier, something like a sourdough or a ciabatta bread. Or if you are more of a DIY type of person like myself, I'd invite you to check out the recipe for the honey wheat sandwich loaf that I made last year. That's what I have here today. So once you have about half a loaf of bread, really depending on the size of bread you have, we're going to make these nice, big, beautiful croutons. Okay, next step, let's toast these up. I have a bit of olive oil. I'm gonna put on my preheated pan, and then you wanna coat the pan so that when you add the bread, each one gets a little bit of that olive oil goodness. Now, unless you are incredibly meticulous and methodical in flipping your bread pieces individually, you aren't going to toast them all evenly, and that's 100% okay. You'll know that it's done when about half the sides are a nice golden brown. Once you see that they're starting to turn a nice golden brown, you can go right ahead and turn off that heat and allow them to cool. Next up, we are going to season our tomatoes with garlic powder, oregano, basil, and salt. I've made this recipe in the dead of winter using these lovely dried herbs, but if you happen to have some fresh herbs growing in your garden, feel free to add those in as well. Once our tomatoes are seasoned, we are going to drain these in a colander for about 15 minutes. You don't want to undo all that work you just did toasting your bread cubes only to have the tomatoes make them super soggy. I have some pre-seasoned and drained tomatoes ready to go. We can add that to our salad. And then we have our broccoli right here. I absolutely love how the broccoli soaks up the dressing and adds amazing crunch to this salad. A little bit of kick with the red onions, and we have the sunflower seeds. Now, part of what makes this a whole balanced meal is the protein in both the sunflower seeds and the bread. So yes, I said the protein in the bread. A lot of people are surprised to learn this, but wheat, especially the varieties that we grow right here in Canada, are a good source of protein. So you're just gonna stir this together, add in the olive oil. Just get every little bit covered there. And then your last step, your very last step just before you eat this salad is to add in those toasted bread cubes. Again, we don't want any soggy bread here. So just before serving, add that in. And if you do have leftover salad, which you probably won't because this is amazing, but if you do, you can definitely toss it into the fridge and enjoy it for the next day or two. Just know that it's not going to be at its peak. All right, you know the drill. Make the recipe. You can find it linked below. Take a photo, share it on social media, and thank you so much for supporting Manitoba farmers.
If you decide to try this recipe at home, we would love to know what you think. We hope you leave this video feeling inspired to cook with local ingredients. Subscribe if you want to see more from us. Thank you so much for watching.